Very happy to be joined by one of the newest members of the Cleveland Browns, right tackle Jack Conklin. And Jack, welcome to town. Welcome to the Browns.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm pumped to get started and be a part of this great organization.
So obviously your first foray into free agency was unique to say the least, given the circumstances going on in the world. So just kind of walk us through how this happened and how you became a Cleveland Brown.
Just going through the process, Cleveland definitely became what I felt as the main suitor, and as things, the tampering period started, just be able to hear from how interested you guys were, and it was really exciting to me. To have a team like Cleveland be so excited about me. That was the biggest part for me and my family. We wanted to go somewhere where a team was super excited, and that was going to be a huge key to help the team and be a huge part of the community. And a big thing for us as well is my wife grew up in Cleveland. Actually, she grew up on the east side near Mayfield, and she still has family actually that lives in Strongsville. So it definitely has a family tie to us, and we're very excited about that.
Well, I am currently right now sitting on the east side of Cleveland, and so I knew that was a tie. Was that like kind of something that could break a tie for you? Maybe not a huge factor, but one that, if things were close, it sounds like they weren't, but, family is obviously very important to you. I know you have a 2-year-old, and congratulations on that. So was that kind of a little sweetener for you?
Definitely, especially, being the first time going to free agency, having played on the same team for the first 4 years, to be able to step off the ledge and be able to go to a new team, sort of start over. That definitely was a huge playing role, a huge key in moving on and be able to start fresh and have some familiarity.
Were there any discussions at all of the irony of the fact that you were drafted by the Titans in a pick that was originally owned by the Cleveland Browns, and now the Browns said, maybe last time we probably should have just taken Jack Conklin, and now they go out and get you?
Definitely. There was a lot of irony. We actually talked about that a couple times, actually, just how funny it was that, you guys traded that 8th pick and ended up being where I was picked, and now to be back with the Browns, it was a funny situation, and it's weird how things can change in 4 years.
Absolutely. You come to a team with a rich history at the tackle position. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Thomas is going to make his way straight into Canton. Before that, while he was there as well, Mitchell Schwartz played right tackle here. Have you gotten a chance to talk to Joe?
Yeah, definitely. Growing up a Big Ten fan, and then going to Michigan State, seeing Joe Thomas is he's one of my favorite players growing up. And he's reached out to me through recently, and which was awesome. To have a guy that you've idolized reach out to you and congratulate you and be excited about you joining the team that he was so important to was huge for you. And I'm excited to hopefully follow in his footsteps and be that person for Cleveland.
Jack, tell us a little bit about the conversations you had with Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry. You mentioned that they made it clear how much they wanted you. What were some of those talks like? Because normally you'd come and you'd take a visit and you'd meet everybody here before you make such a big decision, but in this case, that's not possible.
Yeah, no. Being in this process, it was strange. It was more phone calls than anything, obviously, but and talks through my agent and things like that. But the few talks I have had with those guys is just about coming in and being a leader. Coming in and being a guy who can help this team and to be a strong figure. Who's I think what they said, they wanted this team to be built on tough and smart guys. And for me as an offensive lineman, that's sort of what you want for any offensive line. And I think it was exciting to hear that they thought of me that way. And moving forward, it's going to be awesome to be part of this zone offense that Coach Stefanski brings from the Vikings, and that's what I've been in the last 2 years in Tennessee. So I'm very excited to be able to still be a part of that, and have Coach Callahan here, who's been such a key part in that zone offense throughout history, and be able to have him there to help take me to the next level in this offensive line and the offense. It's going to be a lot of fun.
For those who go and seek out places like Pro Football Focus, it was noted that you are one of the top wide zone run blockers in the entire NFL at the tackle position last year, elite in that. Why does that system and that scheme suit you so well?
I like to think I'm more of an athletic offensive lineman. I don't know if everybody would agree with that, but but I think, you got to be able to run zone offense. You got to cut people off. You got to be able to, get your helmet across, get your hand in the right points on defensive linemen. I think I've just taken very well to that, and I like getting in space, I like moving, and this offense gives you a lot of opportunities to do that.
Yeah, no doubt. And last year in that offense, you ended up paving the way for the NFL's leading rusher in Derrick Henry, who usurped your new running back, Nick Chubb, in the final week of the season there. You've got Kareem Hunt with the Browns as well,
Yeah.
who's the NFL's leading rusher a couple of years ago. What's it like when you know that you have a guy behind you? You had it with Derrick Henry. You certainly will have it with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt as well, when you know, hey, if I can do my job, give these guys a crease or a hole, they're going to make plays.
Oh, yeah. I think you nailed it right in the head. It's, that if you get your block, even if you're just getting in the way some of the times, when you have these elite rushers like Chubb, like Hunt, that they're going to take to the house, and to be able to have that confidence, be able to go out there and know, hey, I do my job. These guys could break one off at any point during the game. That's just huge. And every time that happens, it just builds immense emotion towards the team in a positive way.
A few years ago, I'd say maybe you go back 5 years ago, there was a big difference in the NFL between a left tackle and a right tackle. And I think over the last 5 years, we've seen that really disappear, in part to the play of players like yourself at right tackle. What do you think of that kind of evolution in the game, and that the way teams are approaching, attacking quarterbacks, attacking offensive lines, that you need those two bookends to really be able to be successful?
Yeah, well, I think I would argue that the guys we're playing against might be the most athletic freaks on the field. Guys like Myles Garrett, Von Miller, Khalil Mack. And I guess teams' defenses just started realizing, hey, why not line these guys up on the right, not just on the left tackle. And that, in turn had to evolve the right tackle into being a, a better pass blocker, not just a run forward guy. And in turn, that's created the right tackle a little bit more of a, in essence, more of like a left tackle. You have you're playing against the same guys, you're playing the same speed, the same physicality. And so we have to play at the same level as a left tackle for sure.
And, it kind of makes sense, right? I know that blindside pressure, they can take hits that they can't see, but there's got to be something to be said for generating pressure in the eyesight of the quarterback. That may be just as effective.
Definitely could. I mean, if somebody has a rusher coming right at them, or they think they're going to get close, it's going to spook the quarterback, and they might not be able to stay on their line downfield or right in the pocket where they might have room. It can definitely spook them. So it definitely plays a vital role.
Have you got a chance to talk with either J.C. Tretter or Joel Bitonio, the two real kind of standouts on this line? J.C. Tretter, obviously a little bit busy now, the head of the NFLPA here, getting that collective bargaining agreement passed. But have you got a chance to talk with some of the guys that really are established in the league, like Joel and J.C.?
Yes, I have. Again, because of the circumstances, just through text message and stuff. But the guys, they were right on it when I signed. They were talking to me, texting me, and they're very nice. Very welcoming, and just talking about what they what they want the standard to be, and how I can be a part of that and help develop that at Cleveland. And it's exciting to have two guys that are that established. Especially with with JC becoming the president of the NFLPA too. It just shows you how good guys they are, and how tough they are, and ready to rock and roll.
Have you got a chance to talk with Baker Mayfield? Because, a quarterback, obviously, he's only going to be as good in the NFL. We know this as the people in front of him giving him time to make those plays. And I think that there was probably nobody happier, other than all the fans of Cleveland, who, by the way, were ecstatic when they saw that we got Jack Conklin, but other than Baker Mayfield.
No, yeah, I talked to Baker. It's been great. He seemed very excited. We just sort of goofed around talking, which was, it's kind of nice, just lightening things up. I think just feeling out each other's kind of personalities. And I'm excited. He's an electric player, and it's going to be fun to really get in front and let him loose and let him get rolling.
You played, obviously, with the Tennessee Titans for your whole career prior to the season. You guys set our season off on not so good of a note in week 1 of the 2018 season, and what turned out to be a remarkable run for you guys all the way to the AFC Championship game last year. So you've tasted that. You've tasted the playoffs. You've tasted success, and you've been in the playoffs multiple times, I know. What can you bring to this young locker room, and know that, it's a team, and not only a team, a city, so hungry for football success?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's the exciting part about coming to Cleveland is the fan base. I mean, these guys are rabid, and I'm excited about that. Have this home field advantage, and really just having my my short time, but some experience in the playoffs is just being able to come in and show the team. A lot of it just comes down to the stretch. I think things we all have to learn is throughout the year, you're not going to win every game. It's the NFL, and all these teams are really good. And I think what it comes down to is we got to find a way to get better throughout the entire year. The great teams, you watch the Patriots, you watch Tennessee last year. We didn't start off very hot, but every week we got better and better. And as a team, when we were down, when we were losing, we found a way to not get down on ourselves, but to learn from it and keep progressing. And I think that's the biggest difference between teams that don't make the playoffs and end up being able to make runs.
Is it amazing how so many of these games come down to maybe a handful of plays? And in your case, it could be a block here, a missed block there. Not that you would miss them, but that that the line is that thin in determining winning and losing. And, winning 2 games as opposed to losing is the difference between really going 10-6 and 6-10. If you get that right on 4 games, that's it.
Yeah, it's wild. It's such a competitive league, and there's not one team that has really a bad player. The difference is very marginal, and that's what it comes down to in the games. Coaches always say it comes down to the inches, and you kind of roll your eyes, but it really does. It really does. Like you said, it's a one possession game almost every game in the NFL, and it makes everything more intense. It's coming down the line, it's doing your job, and I think the most important thing as a player is not making it more than it is. You just got to focus on doing your job, and if you're able to do that and believe that the guys around you are going to do the same, then a lot of positive things are going to happen.
You talk about being at Michigan State in the Big Ten, and you think about Michigan State, and Ohio State, and Penn State, and Wisconsin, and those rivalries, the Midwest. Now you're kind of coming back into that in the AFC North. And I realize we'll get a little bit east, a little further east than that. But you think about the Browns and the Steelers, and the Steelers have T.J. Watt. I'm sure you're well aware of that. You think about the Ravens, the Bengals, who will now have the number 1 overall pick this year. But those rivalries coming into this tough, hard-nosed division, that's what the AFC North has always been. Is that something that's exciting to you to kind of get back to that cold Michigan State, Big Ten physical football?
Oh, heck yeah. I can't wait to be back. This division is built on, being hard-nosed, being tough guys. And, I see myself as one of those guys, a grinder who's going to put my head into anything and fight. And it's fun to be back. I'm pumped. I know it sounds weird, but I'm excited to play some cold games again. I'm excited to get back.
Yeah.
Maybe we sneak in a snow game this year. I would love it. Those are my favorite type of games. Bring the more precipitation we get, the better. And I couldn't be more pumped to be back up north and playing in such a hard-nosed division.
In your rookie season, you were a first-team All-Pro, which is not something that happens very often in the National Football League, and that is a tremendous honor, a tremendous accolade. There are a lot of players that go down as some of the greats that are never first-team All-Pros. What went right for you in that season? I know you battled some injuries since, but how do you get back to that level where you are considered to be the elite? Because I know that's certainly what you want to do. That's just talking to you, I can tell your goal is not to be good. Your goal is to be dominant.
Yes. No, I think it's just getting back. Like you said, the injuries. I think that kind of threw me off for a year, and just coming back from the ACL, and I think came back a bit too early, and just caused a few more issues. But luckily, after last year, I took the rehab extremely seriously. Took my time off that I needed, and came back and was able to be explosive again. And I think to put 2 off seasons in a row of getting healthy and being back to my high standard, that it's going to help hopefully put me back to that edge and put me hopefully over the top. I just want to keep rolling and keep getting better and better.
Well, we certainly want to see. I have to ask you, though, in this strange off season, we don't know when there are going to be OTAs. You don't know about anything, and most people are kind of quarantined in their own houses as this, we deal with coronavirus. How does a guy like you, how do you stay in shape? Do you have a gym in the house? How are you kind of keeping it going? Or is chasing a 2-year-old all the cardio you need?
the chasing a 2-year-old definitely helps the cardio, but I'm still training down here. The stuff in Arizona. I'm in Arizona right now, training at OLP, offensive line performance with Charles Bentley, another Cleveland guy. There we go. But it really hasn't hit us as hard yet down here. I'm sure it will, but we'll take that day by day, and I'll figure stuff out that's good, just to stay strong and then keep getting stronger. definitely won't be an issue with learning and getting strong. We'll find ways to do that. That's for sure.
Certainly keep your family safe down there. Glad to hear things are not as bad in Arizona as they are in other parts of the country. And, looking forward to seeing you get out here. Maybe you'll be an East Sider. I don't know. You got a little bit of ties to the East Side when you come.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And you stay safe as well. And all the Cleveland fans as well. Everybody stay safe, and we'll get through this time together and get back to football before you know it.
Jack, absolute pleasure talking to you. Welcome to the Cleveland Browns. Looking forward to great things on the field this year and hopefully doing what you guys and the Titans did last year, and that's go to the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.